In my job, you get to see the worst of humanity. You see what happens as a result of conflict and displacement and violence and brutality. But you also see the best of humanity. And ultimately, I think we have to hold on to that hope.
The humanitarian system is actually under immense strain. So what would a meaningful humanitarian reset look like in your view?
We're underfunded and we're literally under attack. Last year was the deadliest year ever to be a humanitarian. Hundreds of humanitarian workers were killed, mainly in Gaza, but also in Ukraine and Sudan and elsewhere. And now we're facing brutal funding cuts, severe, deep and very sudden. And people are dying because of those funding cuts.
So it's double kill.
It's exactly. And so we have to prioritize more clearly. We have to be more efficient. And then beyond that, I think humanitarian reset will mean that we do more of our work closer to the communities we serve.
What are the practical consequences of US aid cuts? Can this funding shortfall be addressed sustainably?
It's a big short-term challenge for us. Because of those cuts, we are closing massive amounts of programs. What we now need to see is other countries stepping forward. We'll also be continuing our engagement, our dialogue with Washington. These problems won't go away, and individual elections don't change the level of need.
Apart from funding shortfall, the other thing is the US tariffs.
Those tariffs risk an impact on the economies of the countries in which we work and where humanitarian needs are already great. There's also a risk that they have an impact on the economies of many of our partners and donors. So clearly we want dialogue, we want solidarity. We need a system of international solidarity and cooperation that builds dialogue and trust, that minimizes too many shocks and surprises.
Your book, 10 Survival Skills for a World Influx, urges us to rethink the future. So what kind of future do you envision?
I look around the world and I see an age of distrust, of inequality, and of technological uncertainty. In many ways, the world is pulling apart at the moment, and we have to find ways to bring the world back together again, to focus on these common challenges that we face. Global cooperation is at the heart of this. I think we have two instincts as humans, one to compete for resource, and the other to work together for that resource and for a better world. And we see in history those instincts always competing, but ultimately we are stronger as humanity when we work together, when we work for coexistence.